Prepare for an enlightening conversation with Chef Claude Tayag, the culinary maestro behind the book, The Ultimate Filipino Adobo, Stories Through the Ages.
Mabuhay! Hi everyone! I'm so thrilled to share with you my passion, my latest book, The Ultimate Filipino Adobo, here at the Buchmesse in Frankfurt. We have more similarities than differences over the decades, generations. We share the same DNA, yung palate natin, yung for that asin, the use of vinegar into our cooking. The thing is, we have this like that fondness for anything sour. Sa sinigang, well, adobo is basically you cook the acidity, but then we have the kinilaw. And then sausawan na lang, may kalamansi ka dyan, may suka ka dyan. But you know, even if you go through the book, not one single adobo dish is the same as the other. And over decades, over generations, like every generation creates their own tradition. I've observed this even in, especially with overseas Filipinos living abroad. They cook adobo. The adobo that their lola or their mother or even their yaya, the kusinera, no, at home. It's like going back in time for that momentary period they're brought back home in their childhood. So what I'm saying is like food connects generations. Present from the past, and maybe you cook this for your children, and then it will again be an unbroken chain to the future generation.
Exactly.
So yun ang para sa akin that what makes adobo special to us Filipinos. This book is not a cookbook per se. It has some recipes in it, but you know, these recipes are told by the contributors on what adobo means to them. Chef Charles Olalia, sumikat yan sa LA when he opened his, it's a career chef, meaning professional chef, from one restaurant to the other, working in the US. No? Both his parents are medical doctors. And naturalmente, gusto nila yung mga anak nila maging doktor din. So, little did they know, he secretly enrolled in a culinary school. Ganun pala, may balak siyang magtrabaho as a cook. Tinapos niya yung short course lang, hindi yung diploma. Pumunta siya sa Amerika to visit the lola. Dating niya doon, yung first week pa lang, nakalanding na siya nung trabaho sa isang restaurant. Maniwala ka, then 2 years later, dun sa French Laundry. Ito yun sa pinakasikat na Michelin star rated restaurant in Napa Valley. So, ganun yung kanyang culinary path. But, you know, along the way, he tried to recreate his lola's adobo from back in the Philippines. Hindi niya makuha-kuha, tumatawag daw long distance. Nung araw, overseas pa, no? Long distance sa mother niya, tatanong niya, paano, gano'n. Hindi niya makuha-kuha. Ito yung kanyang statement. How can a dish made with no more than 6 ingredients be so hard to execute? The aroma is so particular, very pointed, so specific. I still haven't seen anything so simple and yet create such emotions. What I realized was, adobo is not a recipe. It's a feeling. It's a moment in time. Chef Charles Olalia, originally from Bacolor, Pampanga. If charity begins at home, you start the tourism, the ambassadorship, the diplomacy at home. You invite your German friends at home, cook adobo. The way you know how. Alam mo, ang labanan today is like more than anything kasi sinasabi sa atin, wala tayong presentation. Gandahan nyo, ang daming hacks sa internet. How to stylize, literally to present your food. It's not just yung dati na ganun lang dump. Look at the adobo book. Ang dami dun na ginagawa naman. Of course, ito yung inaral na, no? And all that. Like, but the thing is like, it could be on the other way. You know, as Filipinos, we eat family style. We share one pancit. We share one the lumpia rolls with how many pieces. Yung ganun ba? Just present it nicely. And then you explain. And I guess talagang ang diplomacy to make our cuisine, ano, para bang yun introduction na yun sa mga foreigners na natikman nilang sarap. Yung marami mayan yan. Pag you visit our country, come to our country, we can tell you where to eat, where to go, yung ganun ba? Talagang literally tourism should start from you. It's like a very personal thing, a personal invitation. This book is a celebration of our diversity. Talagang acceptance na lang na you know, respect and acceptance in general what Filipino cuisine is. You know, a Filipino dish conforms to the maker. Kung ano ang preference, kung ano ang available, kung afforded. Maybe also kung ano yung like meron siyang religious restrictions or dietary restrictions. And that's the beauty of adobo. You can literally adobo nga anything and adjust accordingly. So ganun tayo magluto mga Pinoy. Kung saan ka man mapadpad, kung wala kang sampalok or fresh kamyas, edi sinigang mix and there's nothing wrong with it. Dagdagan mo na lang ng fresh tomatoes, I'm sure meron doon, no? Kung wala kang kangkong, any green will do. Not just adobo but Filipino cooking all over the world. It can be done. Yung mga ingredients natin, they're readily available everywhere. May nagkwento sa akin, she lives somewhere in Germany. Actually dito, sa backyard niya, meron silang grapes. Yung young grapes daw, ang super asim. Ginawa niyang sinigong.
Wow.
Hindi, yung asim nandun na. Di ba, yung fruit doesn't matter where it comes from, nandun yung asim. Sa States, alam mo, ginagamit nila yung rhubarb. So you have a malandi na reddish kind of sinigang. Ang ganda-ganda. Yung kanya-kanyang ano nga yun, adaptation. In the same way na sinigang sa bayabas was invented by a Filipino, you know, using a foreign ingredient initially. But then it became, you know, it was embraced by the community. It became Filipino. We don't need like what? Several decades, several hundred years to be called Filipino. Instantly, once a Filipino gets hold of the ingredient and uses it in our way, that's Filipino. So this guy, Patrick, gathered his Phil Swiss friends and met me at the train station and toured me around Lake Zurich and all that, all because of the adobo. And then we had a long chat. You know, they were so eager to learn of their mother's heritage, and especially the adobo, the cooking. Not just adobo, but you know, our food in general. Kasi they're so far removed already, but they share the same, you can say, heritage that they are not yet familiar with and they wish to learn about. It's the adobo that put us together. We have that shared, that common passion for it. They couldn't understand why. Kasi you grew up with it. You know, their mothers, I mean, in fairness, na talagang pinagluto sila ng adobo no matter how far. And also the mothers trying to, again, to relive those days when she was young back in the Philippines. Eating with the lola, eating with the mother. So again, as I mentioned earlier, generations are connected no matter how far distance we are from each other in terms of physical distance, not just in terms of physical distance, but time. Meaning they're long dead, maybe, again, we're talking about the future generation. So, ganun talagang ano ng adobo sa atin. Nasa DNA na natin yun. Maraming salamat po. Dankeschön. Thank you very much for listening in my adobo stories. Let's continue promoting our cuisine, our culture in our own little ways. And that is by inviting Germans, guests, foreigners at home. Pagpatuloy nyo yung ating pagpalaganap, you can say like pagpasikat ng ating pagkain, ang ating kultura at home.
Join us in celebrating this beloved Filipino culinary legacy. Our very own adobo truly unites Filipinos in Germany.